Hi there, everybody. And, I promised you that my next video would be how the flat earth can't work. But anyway, yeah, let me just show you how it could not work. For instance, the sunset. Everybody knows that the sun goes above and below the horizon. Now, flat earth is, representation of how the sun goes above the earth in a circular formation. In order for, a sunset to work, the sun would have to make, it would actually have to, go, its orbit would actually have to be a circle, but also looking like this. So it would somewhat look like, well, hold on. You can't really see how I'm doing this, because this is, I'm making a 3D representation, but, it would go like that. Of course, it would have to also be spinning around the earth as well. So, that couldn't work. And also, you say that the sun is like a spotlight. If it's like a spotlight, and you say that it's like a, well, you flat earthers say you don't know what the shape of the sun is, but we for a fact know that for us round earthers know that's a ball. So, basically a ball spotlight you would be able to see anywhere you were, even in night. And also, how would solar, well, I had to think about it. That solar eclipses could work, but anyway, how could lunar eclipses work is the question, because we all know that a lunar eclipse happens when the moon, let me find a moon-looking object. Here we are. When the moon gets blocked by the earth, thus creating a shadow. Well, it actually happens when the moon passes through the earth's atmosphere. Or not. It doesn't crash into the earth, okay? It just, the earth's shadow also casts its, the atmosphere. The sun does that. But anyway, does that, goes through the atmosphere. Now, the part of the atmosphere that it's going through is, the sunset part of it. It's, the sunset area, so, of course, it's going to be, orange, red, or, possibly yellow, maybe even pink, or, pinkish red color. But anyway, yeah. Oh, also another thing. You flat earthers say that the earth is a plate. Basically, is what you say. And you say that gravity is not a real thing, and that the earth is just going up like that. Like an elevator, basically. It's just going up. The only question is, where's the earth getting this fuel from? First off, to move an object that big, to move an object the size of the earth, I guess, since you say gravity's not a real thing, at 9.98 kilometers a second, and keep that fuel. Where would you get that fuel, basically, is the question. And also, they use clouds as a reference to prove that the Earth is flat. Well, let me tell you this. What they do is, they put like cotton balls on a ball, on a tiny little ball, and just watch them just cascade off the sides of the ball. And they say that's proof that the Earth is flat. Well, let me tell you something. The only reason why the cotton balls, pass by the little ball is because it's a little ball compared to the great size of the Earth, which has gravity, which, as we all know this, but of course you flat earthers wouldn't, things that are bigger or have a bigger mass will tend to pull harder than little objects, like a ball compared to the Earth. It's like, what would do more damage? A fist or a pinky? But, like, they also do water with the ball thing. Same basic concept. I've seen somebody use train tracks as a reference. We'll see. Flat earthers are, like, overcompensating the curve of the Earth. They think that, like, it's this curved. Like, everywhere you go, they think that's this curve. When really, it's only a 2% curve, which means it's almost flat, but it's not really flat. It's more of a... Actually, really, when you think about it, the Earth is more shaped like a lemon. Because, gravity is not evenly, displaced. The Hudson Bay has less gravity than, say, the United Kingdom. You could actually be lighter by the Hudson Bay, or in like basically all of the Indian Ocean, because there's like no gravity there, which is probably why. Well, I'm just predicting right here why the Indian Ocean has a lowest ocean level, or sea level, or however you want to call it. But anyway, yeah. But they use train tracks as a thing, and, like I said, they overcompensate for the curve of the Earth. And when it's only really a 2% curve. And they also use, and let me just put it into this perspective. Say you're in the Great Plains, where there's absolutely positively no trees. Well, there might be a few trees. And let's just say that the Earth is flat for a second here. You would be able to see St. Louis or whatever, or the closest big city from, say, the center of the Great Plains. Now, to anybody who's living in the Great Plains, like somewhere deep in the heart of the Great Plains, do you see a big city by you if you're like deep in the Great Plains? That's not like you're not in the suburbs, cause then that would be just like pretty obvious. Like, oh, there's the St. Louis Tower, like, or the Great Arches of St. Louis. But anyway, yeah. So I just debunked that myth of the Earth being flat or whatever. And second, and maybe I might be going a little bit, out of my mind. Not like, insane, but just like, just absent-minded right now. So, I kind of forgot what I was going to say. Really forgot. What is it? I got nothing. I guess that was all I got. Hey, oh yeah, that great distances, like, yeah. But anyway, you can't see the, like St. Louis from the Great Plains because, of the curvature of the earth. And, some people use, the reference of that you can see Chicago on the opposite side of Lake Michigan, on Michigan. Well, here's the thing. You can only see Chicago from there because, well, there's a bunch of, things I won't get into because, you flat earthers don't have that good of brains, so, I just won't get into it, but, like, and also ships, or trains, or cars, or, a better representation would be ships, because, there's no hills in the ocean. Well, I guess waves are technically hills in the ocean. But anyway, let's just say, just imagine for these, few minutes that, that's a perfectly calm day on the ocean, and you're at the dock, and you're waving some people goodbye, and just stay there for like a few hours. It's a slow boat. But anyway, you start to notice that it looks like it's sinking, and of course you're a flat earther, so then you start to say, they're going off the edge of the earth. Or, they're sinking. And, that's not really happening. What's really happening is, they're going over the curvature of the earth. There's, like, they're going over the curvature of the earth, but, like, which, as I've said, doesn't really curve that much, so it takes a little while for it to appear that it's sinking. Anyway, what it's doing is, it's going over the curvature of the earth, and, of course, the lowest things will go over the curvature of the earth, or appear to be sinking first, and then, the tallest thing will be the last. When really, they're just having a fun time, just, sailing across the world. The round world. Oh, and also, you flat earthers, and I've heard of this, that you asked NASA if the pictures of the earth were photoshopped, and NASA said yes, and then you claimed a victory. Well, what's actually happening is, ooh, I'm running out of time. What's actually happening is, the earth is so big that, like, they had to take millions of pictures, and then they had to, like, stitch them all together, just create one image of the earth, because that's how big the earth is. If you don't know how big the earth is, just search it up. How big is the earth? And then you'll get the answer. But anyway, yeah, I'm running out of time. Okay, bye-bye. Because I only have a 15-minute limit. Bye-bye.